welcome to Main Pod Girl.
This is a podcast made by popheads for popheads.
Every episode, y'all can check in with us while we discuss your burning questions, as well as what's happening in pop music.
Throughout this series, we'll be chiming in on our favorite recent discussion threads and chatting with some of our all-time favorite artists and music commentators.
It's true! What's up, y'all? I'm an alt-pop artist, songwriter, and constantly imagining what touching grass would feel like. Sola!
And I'm a pop rock artist, songwriter, and the Sixth Harmony, AJ Marks. Secret number 6.
Today's guests are the epitome of popheads core, artists that have been a part of our subreddit for a long time. Their debut album last year was met with lots of critical acclaim, being ranked as one of the best albums of 2021 in publications such as The New Yorker, Rolling Stone, and Pitchfork, so you know, small fish. Then, this year, they doubled the track length for a deluxe. They give us 2 albums in one, and now we're giving you 2 guests in one. AJ, please put your hands together for Mika and Matt of Magdalena Bay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a live studio audience. How does it feel?
So great.
So where are you two right now? Are you just in LA or just in LA, but.
Yeah, we have a small break in between our 2 legs of our tour that we're on now. So we're home for a quick minute.
Yeah.
Aw, cute. Love a little break. Speaking of breaks, why don't we start this episode off with a little icebreaker? What's everyone listening to right now? I have been obsessed with Ghost of You by Mimi Webb. We had her on the show a little bit earlier this year.
Friend of the pod.
I don't know. I just can't get it out of my head. And it's been one of those songs where, it was Unholy, right before that too, where I was just like, if I'm not listening to that song is stuck in my head at that very moment.
For me, there's this little ginger gal named Payday, and she's just cool. I just like her vibe. She has an album from last year called House of Puke, if that tells you anything about what her vibe might
House
be.
of Pube?
Puke.
Puke, okay. That's a little bit better.
I'm like, what vibe is that?
Yeah. House of Puke.
I'm now picturing Lady Gaga where she's like Father, Son, and House of Pube.
Anyway, it's kind of like a Goosebumps cover.
That's cool.
It's giving Goosebumps.
It's giving Goosebumps. Okay, I like that.
But also not. It's also giving Family Guy.
Oh, okay. A slightly different vibe.
Just look at it. You'll know when you know.
All right. Cartoon Goosebumps. What about you guys? What are you currently listening to right now?
Sorry, I'm looking up House of Puke right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
It's exactly Family Guy. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We've been in this tour van for so long, so what we listen to is kind of
All over the place.
Yeah, it's not normal, but I've been enjoying the sounds specifically of the song Paradise by Sade. I try to listen to that almost every day, if not every day, and it's really fun while you're driving. And then I don't know. I think also Toro y Moi, his album came out a little while ago now, but we're still loving it.
Jamming
to it.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah. I adore his voice.
So we have a game that we'd actually like to...
Matt did what he's listening to.
All right. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yes.
We literally listened to the same thing. You're acting like you're listening to
I was kind of assuming it was a group pick, but if you have something separate...
We're in the same tour van all the time.
Speak for you.
We don't listen to different music.
Okay, cool.
It's very polite of you, though, Mika. That's very polite.
Matt doesn't listen to anything. Yeah. We knew this.
Matt doesn't actually listen to music. He just
makes it. Just comes from the heart.
You just make all your music on mute.
That's what Beethoven did essentially.
Wait,
really?
Well, he was
wasn't
deaf.
all in his head.
He wasn't always deaf, but he was deaf. At a certain point, he was making music without listening to it.
That's crazy.
Have you seen his sheet music?
No.
Oh my God. I know this is a niche thing. If you Google Beethoven's sheet music and you can read music, you will still not be able to read this. I don't know how whoever was the person transcribing all of his music chose the notes, but it's not what he's got going there. It's just scribbles.
Just been listening to it wrong, probably.
Yeah. It was all supposed to be 12 tone fucking crazy jazz.
It's not ba 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 ba. It's actually ba 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 ba. That's how it's supposed to go.
That was definitely like later in life when he was losing his hearing. That's what it was.
I would love a social experiment where you got a team of like really, really talented songwriters and producers in a room, and they had to write a song and have it all on mute. Like, just like know their presets.
You know what I've seen before? I've seen people like drawing shapes in like MIDI and then like just hearing what those shapes sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should raise a child, a person and never show them music and then try to have them create it and see what happens.
There might be some ethical issues with that
I feel
experiment.
like that's child abuse, but I also really love that. I want to see a Truman Show kind of thing where that happens.
So one-way ticket to like the international court, you know?
Oh, hypothetical.
I would love to do that ethically.
That sounds like some 1950s like experiment.
We got to find an ethical way to do that.
Like finding some like, you know, Tibetan village.
I feel like it's
I
like
think there's music in
music
every culture. But
yeah.
you could go to a Tibetan village and have them try to make synth pop, maybe.
okay.
Yes. What do
Yeah.
you think Tibet thinks of Magdalena Bay?
They probably don't care, and that's like that makes sense.
I assume they wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe they would love it. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it pops off.
So we have a new game that we want to try for the first time on this podcast. It's called Not Like the Other Pod Girls. So basically, the game is that we have to find things that we all have in common except for one of us. So like 3 of us have to have done that thing or like that thing, and one of us don't.
Cool.
So these can either be like concerts we've been to or like food we've tried or albums we like.
Okay, so let's go with albums we like. Control by SZA. Who else likes Control?
I can't say I've like listened to it.
I
That's-
know, honestly,
yeah.
same, which is really weird.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
2 for 4 on this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, our drummer Nick was into that album for a while, and he was like, "Oh, you have to listen to it. You have to listen to it. It's really good." And I don't know. I think whenever someone says that to me, I just like don't, which is bad.
Albums I've not listened to. I've not listened to Renaissance by Beyonce yet. I still haven't done it.
I have.
Oh, I listened
Oh,
to it.
listen to
I liked
it.
it.
Oh, okay, so that's 3 out of 4.
Okay.
Okay, great.
There we go. Foods we've tried, maybe. What's a unique food that like one of us wouldn't have tried?
Lychee?
Oh yeah, lychee's
Lychee's
great.
good, yeah.
Oh, I have not tried lychee. All right, there we go.
Fuck, I'm so good at this.
We're making some progress.
It's like amazing.
Well, I'm curious because you're in London, right?
Yeah,
So do you guys like black pudding?
I
I
do.
love-
You know, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Oh, were we 4 for 4?
4 for 4.
Four for
Damn.
Do you like haggis?
I never had haggis.
Never had it.
Yeah.
Have you had it, AJ?
I have not had haggis.
Oh my God, there's another one. Would recommend. I've never had like genuine, authentic, just alone haggis. I've had deep fried haggis, which I have heard is actually extremely Scottish.
Yeah, I feel like deep fried anything is like legit Scottish, right?
Yeah.
I studied abroad in London for like 5 months, so Matt is the only one who has never.
Hey.
I live in London, yeah.
Because Sola and I originally moved here to study. So
Yes.
we have all studied in England. There we go.
Except for Matt. Sucks to suck, Matt.
What's something that both of you guys have done? Like a concert you've been to or like,
Us, we do everything together.
Yeah, I
have
mean,
you like skydived?
No, I
No.
would never.
Have you indoor skydived? Because that is so much fun.
I feel like my body would hurt after, but I also want to try it just from being so tense.
It actually doesn't hurt, but you do feel a little, oh no, that's a really bad pun. I didn't mean for it, but I don't want to say it.
Uh-oh, let's go. Let's have
I'll
it.
say it anyway. You get a little winded. But I didn't intend for it. No pun intended.
No pun intended, but pun happened.
What else? What else? Have you guys... I'm sure everyone's been to an aquarium, unless one person just hasn't.
Yeah, I've
I know.
definitely been through it.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe someone hasn't been to an aquarium.
This is so funny because now listeners have a view into AJ's mind. It was the first thing that I can think of. Aquarium.
Have you walked across Abbey Road?
No.
No.
No. Why didn't we do that?
I haven't either. Fuck. Never mind. Do you like touristy things?
Do you like touristy things? Yeah.
It depends. What, like museums?
I guess, yeah. Okay, all right. So I don't like touristy things, so that makes 3 out of 4.
You don't like an ice cream cone on the boardwalk?
I guess, but I I feel like I would do that even in my own city, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say that I did go to Amsterdam once and I went to the ice bar.
You went there in London,
I
right?
did that in London.
Wait, there's an ice bar in London?
It was in like
2019.
You're like, I went to the ice bar in Amsterdam. Like, that's the only ice bar. They're everywhere.
I thought it was a thing unique to Amsterdam. See, I'm not a very good tourist.
The original ice bar.
I went from London. Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, I have some questions about your album and the deluxe, but I want to start off with the mini mix concepts. How did that start? Was it like unfinished songs? Was the intent to make super short songs?
Yeah, I guess all of the above. I mean, I think the intent was we get very antsy when we're not releasing music. And then we had like the EP, Little Rhythm, which was like a more official release. And then, you know, you can't just like put out songs all the time without some sort of strategy behind them. So the mini mix was like a way of getting music out that seemed less serious to us and we could just do without having to think too much about it.
Yeah, I think like, well, we made the first one before
That's true,
the
before.
EP came out. We were just like self-releasing like single after single, and it just felt so like, I don't know, like repetitive, and we just wanted to be able to get stuff out there faster. So.
Yeah. And then we had the idea of like everyone having a video that we made.
Mm-hmm.
And so that idea of just like something we could like write in a day, make the video in a day, and sort of put out the day after was kind of the original intent behind them.
Yeah.
So that's how the first mini mix started. And then I guess with the second one, we liked how they were short and also weirder than I guess a normal single release. So it gave us room to like mess around with different sounds and ideas and stuff and not take ourselves too seriously with them.
Like non-committal kind of release.
Yeah.
I love that. There's so much pressure around like releasing something with a campaign, with like the music video, with all these different sorts of strategies attached to them. So like that must have been extremely freeing for you.
Yeah, it was nice. And people, I think, weirdly enough, reacted to the minis better than like our singles up until that point, so.
Which was really awesome.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Oh my God, it paid off then. There you go. What you guys were saying with like how you could sort of push your own boundaries a little bit more and experiment. Like I do really adore how accessible a lot of your sound is, and like still managing to sort of tread that line with every new release. Is that balance intentional, or is it just you guys sort of fucking around and then releasing?
I don't know if it's intentional in the way that we're like, we need to make something experimental, like we need to push boundaries. I don't think we really like think about that when writing music. I think it's more like, oh, this is a weird sound and it like sounds really cool in this song. And I don't know, it just works.
And same with like it being accessible, I guess. I think that's just kind of what we like.
Yeah, I think it's just music that we like happens to be that blend of, I don't even want to say the word experimental because I wouldn't really call our music like experimental music. But I think there is just like this element of pop music that if you just expand the definition of pop music a little bit, you have the room to get a little weird with it. And I think we like to get a little weird with it when we can.
Get a little weird.
But I don't think we're like purposefully like limiting ourselves in any way of like, oh, we need to fit within these boundaries or we need to like push these boundaries.
Yeah, I know that people, like including myself, don't really like to use it when referring to your own music because like
there's like a pressure to be like something completely different.
Yeah, there's a pressure to it.
Yeah, it's easy for the word experimental to lose meaning, I think.
Yeah.
So
it makes you think of something truly experimental, which I don't even know.
Right, like what would
like making music muted.
Yeah.
Right.
That, something like that.
That's definitely an experiment.
Oh my God, imagine if you made a whole album like that and you didn't know what it sounded like until you listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah.
That would be such a good dare.
That sounds stressful.
True experimental is raising a child without.
Yes.
That is an experiment, right?
That is.
That is. Right now.
Yeah.
That's the next music video, is like just acting that out.
Were there any genres or like words or labels that have been used other than like experimental for your music that you were kind of like, that's not quite right, or you were like surprised by?
Yeah. The obvious culprit is hyperpop, which is what I think it just became like a way for people to refer to any pop music that had some sort of like dance beat, which is so weird because that's just like what pop music historically was. But then I think there was a shift, where pop music became, I don't like darker in a way, or like more.
Yeah, the pop music in the mainstream became like darker, maybe like with different influences. So then whatever was classically pop now was
all of a sudden like hyper pop.
On a different place of the scale.
Yeah.
Like post The Weeknd's, the trilogy.
Mm-hmm. But so yeah, we got called that a lot. I mean, I don't want to discount the influence that like, I guess what you would call true hyper pop music has on our music, but I definitely wouldn't call our own music.
Yeah, we made one mini song that was hyper pop, and then
But that was us being like, okay, let's do a hyper pop song.
That was you being experimental. Let's experiment with this
Experimenting
sound.
with hyper pop, yeah.
But yeah, one of the minis, Live Forever, was
that's what they're for. It's like, oh, let's try this thing.
Yeah, it's nice to have like side projects that aren't, because I feel like a lot of people, when they release something, even if it's not indicative of their like next era, or if they're not putting all their money into it, or their label's not putting all their money into it or whatever, I feel like a lot of people will expect one thing, and if it's not that exactly, they might lose interest in what's coming after that thing. But it's so there's like a need almost to define something as like, don't worry, like this is just a side project, like we're just kind of having fun, and if you like it, you like it, and you don't.
That's why the mixtape term comes in handy, because for some reason like a mixtape is not an album. It's somehow less official, even though it's all just songs, but
Oh, I'm gonna steal that idea. Just gonna release only mixtapes moving forward.
Yeah.
You have a lot of like pop references kind of in your songs, whether intentional or unintentional, but like an intentional one I'm assuming is like the Material Girl reference in the Mercurial World title track. It syncs like the love for pop music with the otherworldly kind of songs that y'all make. How important is it to you to have that like pop culture knowledge, that like history and awareness of pop culture to get to where you are today with your music?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we just had a period of pop discovery when we started Magdalena Bay. We hadn't really listened to pop before, and we kind of got into all this music. And I think that was important for us figuring out like what pop is to us and what it could be, along with like writing it over the years.
I mean, the biggest, most important thing you could do as a creator of any art is to like be knowledgeable about other art, right? In the same thing, because the more you listen to music and the more like variety of music you listen to, it's only gonna to help you as a music producer, I think. So just like having various influences and stuff.
Yeah, that makes me feel like I should listen to more music.
What's the most unexpected like influence for you both?
Well, I think when people first find our music and then like look into our history as a band, they're always surprised, because we were in like a progressive rock band in high school. So that even though it's not like a primary influence on the music we make now, there is always going to be that underlying nerd rock influence. DNA behind what we do.
Like that understanding of how that world works and that familiarity with those kinds of sounds.
Yeah. And I think it just manifests itself more into a love for conceptual music.
Yeah, I'd say conceptual, like maximalism too, but also like harmonically and like chords and stuff. Right. Like it's definitely baked in there in some way.
Deep inside.
Just masking it with the synths. I was going to say Killshot gives me like major Love Angel Music Baby vibes, especially at the end. I'm like, this could actually be what that album sounds like today.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I mean, we discovered her music and Lamb when we were sort of discovering pop.
Well, I would say like rediscovered, right? Because like,
right, because it's like, oh, I've heard
it's
these
always
songs.
been
You're not really listening.
Yeah, everyone hears Hollaback Girl at the bar mitzvah dance party thing. But yeah, going back as like someone who's now trying to make pop music and listening to those records. It was really
It's crazy.
yeah, cool.
It's like a recontextualization, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
AJ and I were talking before you guys came on about your music video for Dream Catching. First of all, wow, that's like such a amazing visual experience. I wish I was stoned when I watched it. Tell us everything. How was that made? Was it DIY like a lot of your other stuff?
We can't tell you much about anything about how that video is made because we just don't know.
We don't know.
It's a little over our heads. But yeah, the amazing Felix Geen was the mastermind behind the.
Yeah, he directed it. He was like, we should do this AI thing. We're like, sounds great.
Oh, it was AI?
It used, again, like I can't really tell you. It uses some sort of thing like that.
It uses some sort of AI thing, but it's also like incorporating real footage of us and using like vocal prompts and I don't know. It's really crazy.
How was the footage? Like when they filmed you, you were just like, all right, I'm just going to mouth the words. All right, I'm just going to press something on the piano.
Yeah, I mean, we just did it like a normal performance
on
footage, like over green screen, like same we would do for any other video. But yeah, again, I don't know how they incorporated that footage with the other stuff. But
the world will never know.
Yeah, you'll have to ask Felix. But
keeping it a secret.
I don't think he'll tell you.
I don't think he'll tell, and I love that.
He has an NDA with the AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, how's Kirby doing? The little stuffed Kirby.
I have not seen him in months.
Oh, I see it.
He's yeah. He's behind the pedal board.
Not seen him in months. He's right there. There we go.
Little like chimney sweep.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Kirby your favorite character?
Yeah. I like it. I like playing Kirby and Smash also.
Yeah, my favorite Super Smash character is like definitely Meta Knight, so we're opposites. Hard segue. I kind of want to talk about your remixes for a second.
How do you go about your remixes? Like what's, do you have like a usual sort of...
Well, it's not like we do too many remixes, so I think we're still trying to figure it out. But I think we spent a lot of time figuring out what tempo we wanted it to be, which sounds silly, but I think that's probably like the first step is like, okay, do we want to speed it up or slow it down?
Faster or
slower?
And that's like a diverging road.
Yeah.
You know?
And then that would like inform like what drum groove, would work for. So I ended up going for like this Daft Punky kind of electro house thing. Yeah, I like how it came out.
I think it's sick.
Are you one of those people that the BPM is like 122.2 or something?
Yeah.
Like
no, not that far, but I will say we have like been in a situation where, this song is just, it's not feeling right. And we were like, okay, let's try making it a little faster. And then we end up literally raising it by 1 BPM. And we're like, okay, this feels bad. And that might be totally.
That's like you type of crazy. Cause I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you can't really tell when it's 1.
I don't know, but
2 makes a big difference.
Maybe it's 2.
2, 3, that's when it starts to shift for me.
Yeah,
3 is
huge. Is big. Yeah.
3 huge.
But I feel like there has been a situation where I raised it 1 BPM and I was like, okay. Sure, yeah. But again, that could just be totally psychological.
Do you like go in thinking like, okay, I want to make a BPM, like I want it to feel like this?
I don't know if we like enter a song with the. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we have maybe once.
Maybe, yeah. But not usually. Yeah. Not usually. I think we'll start with like some other sort of vibe and then
like a keyboard sound or
or some chords and then be like, okay, we're thinking of them at this top tempo speed.
Right. And then we'll figure out what tempo it is.
Yeah.
Do you ever write drums first?
Sometimes.
I'd say rarely though. Yeah.
It has happened.
So it's usually like a sound or chords for you first.
I think so. I don't know. Sometimes I'll start with like a beat, but it'll be something really simple just to like get the ideas flowing. I wouldn't say that it's like a thought out programming of drums.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, who are listening, you guys have been Popheads users for a long time, posting your music on the sub in its early days. I was just curious how you found Popheads in the first place.
Well, you found it. I didn't even know like what Reddit really was.
Yeah, I think I was just like on Reddit in general. Like when we were in a prog rock band, I would post our music to the prog rock music subreddit, because it was just like when we started making pop music, I was like, oh, there's probably a pop subreddit.
Which is crazy because that's how a lot of our users like found you.
Yeah, there's one video with our song Only If You Want It that I think got like a pretty positive reaction. It's a long time ago, so I don't remember that. I'll have to go back at that post and probably cringe a bit.
I remember I was like, describe it as Lisa Frank, I think. Yeah.
So it was a nice one. Yeah.
No, it's nice how like supportive and like enthusiastic the reaction was at the time.
We've come to the last part of our show. This is our top 5. This is where we list our top 5 of a certain category. And on this episode, we will be sharing our top 5 musical duos, not including Magdalena Bay, to avoid bias. My number 5 is a classic. You know, you love them. It's Outkast.
Oh, nice. I was afraid I wasn't actually going to know or love them, so I was...
Yeah, just say something super niche. It's the Blues Brothers. Number 4 is a new British duo. It's Wet Leg.
Wet Leg. Ooh, that's a good one.
My number 3 is I'm so happy that they've started releasing more stuff again, because I was worried that, which is ironic with their name, I was worried that they wouldn't do anything in the future. It's No Worries, which is Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. And they have a song now with Her, I think it is.
Oh, I didn't know they came back.
My number 2 is Jungle. I originally thought that Jungle was like a 6+ piece band. Turns out no, it's a duo. And my number 1 is a duo called Refs.
Yep, should have seen this coming.
I love Refs. I love you, Rick.
Damn, sucks for the other guy.
I can't remember his name right now. But he also has a solo project where he's just Rick. But also shout out to my friends Hers as a duo. Long live.
My number 5, you know them, you love them, I hope. It's the Veronicas.
Oh, yes.
There's just some songs, they stay with me at my core.
Like Forever.
Yes. Ah, I see what you did there. I was like, yes, of course, Forever. And then I was like, oh, wait, yeah. Number 4, friends of the pod, Loot. I absolutely adore them.
They're friends of the pod?
Well, they're friends of me.
Oh, okay. I was like, when did I meet them? Yeah, shout out to Sex with My Ex. Fucking banger.
Banger. My number 3 is the Carters. I know they only have one album. I know it's only 9 songs, but it is so good. I could not include it on this list. And my number 2, it's the Cataracts. That was their producer tag. If you know, you know. They worked on a ton of Dev songs, and one of them's the DJ now known as Kashmir.
Oh, Kashmir. Thank you, Kashmir, for your samples.
Yeah. And one of them is In Terror Jr., actually.
Oh.
And they were a trio turned duo. And my number 1 is a little bit cheeky, but they have 2 albums as a duo, and they just don't have a unique name for the duo, but it's Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett. Insane. Some of my favorite Lady Gaga albums, which is just crazy to think about because that's such a high bar. What about you guys?
We thought just about duos in general, so maybe some non-musical ones in there, if that's okay.
Ooh,
oh,
okay.
Ooh, fun.
I guess should we start with the non-musical ones?
I don't know. Wait, we need to confer about this.
What about like peanut butter and chocolate?
Oh.
You don't like that?
Too sticky. I'd say hazelnut.
Oh, hazelnut and chocolate. Okay. I'll accept that.
All right. So number 5, hazelnut and chocolate.
We had on our list Tim and Eric, comedy duo.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
They'll drop an album one day.
I guess musically, I have Steely Dan, which is Donald Fagen and Walter Becker.
Yeah, we're big fans. We also have Lennon McCartney.
Is
yes.
Classic.
I mean,
of course.
That would probably be number 1.
Oh, I
don't think we're going in order. Mario and Luigi.
That's a classic combo.
That's nice. We need to rip the brother. Little duo.
Represent the brothers.
Oh yeah, Daft Punk. That's good. I'll add that to the list.
I'm adding it to the list.
Oh, Tenacious D. I mean, you should add that one in. You don't like Tenacious D?
I like Tenacious D, but
you wouldn't unseat any of the ones we listed.
Maybe Hazelnut. I only just saw the movie for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that when I was in middle school was like the greatest thing in the world. Oh. You know, as a middle school boy.
Right.
So I understand that we wouldn't share that on.
So that is our top 5. Thank you so much for that.
Hazelnut and chocolate. There we go.
Hazelnut and chocolate, Mario and Luigi. Let's go. Let's have it. Thank you both so much for joining us. If people want to follow you, find out what you're doing, stalk you online, where should they go?
You should just, we're Magdalena Bay on all platforms and we're posting all our doings.
I think anyone who listens to this podcast knows how to use the internet and will know how to find us if they wish to.
If they wish to.
Yeah.
What if they were a child raised without internet access and they're just using it for the first time? This is the first thing they hear.
Have them make the internet.
If you want to follow me, you can find me at I Am Solo Music on all social media.
And if you want to follow me, you can find me at AJ Marks Official on all my socials and AJ Marks on streaming services. Thanks once again to Mika and Matt for coming on. Thank you to Nick for the episode artwork, and thank you to Noah for the theme music. Make sure to rate and review us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on right now, and we'll see you later.
Bye.